The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has approved GSK's new antibiotic, Blujepa, for the treatment of urinary tract infections in women and adolescent girls. At first glance, this might seem like a step forward in combating a common bacterial infection. But beneath the surface, this approval raises serious concerns about the long-term consequences of relying on new pharmaceuticals to address an issue that is becoming increasingly difficult to control. The rapid development and approval of new antibiotics may provide short-term relief, but they do little to solve the deeper problem: the unchecked rise of antibiotic resistance, a looming crisis that could soon render even the most advanced drugs ineffective. GSK touts Blujepa as a breakthrough, emphasizing its novel mechanism of action that reduces the likelihood of bacterial resistance. However, this claim should be met with skepticism. No antibiotic is immune to the forces of evolution. Bacteria have consistently outpaced medical innovation, adapting to new drugs faster than pharmaceutical companies can develop them. The approval of yet another antibiotic does not solve the underlying issue. It merely buys time before resistance inevitably sets in. The fact that antimicrobial resistance already results in over 2.8 million infections annually in the U.S. alone should serve as a dire warning that new antibiotics, no matter how promising, are not a long-term solution. Instead of focusing solely on developing new drugs, there should be far greater emphasis on alternative treatments, preventive measures, and global strategies to slow the spread of resistant bacteria. Another troubling aspect of this approval is its financial motivations. GSK, facing patent expirations on some of its most profitable HIV treatments, is aggressively seeking new revenue streams. Blujepa is just one of several new drugs the company is banking on to generate billions in sales. This raises questions about whether the push for approval was driven more by financial necessity than by patient need. While UTIs are a common medical condition, many cases can be managed with existing antibiotics or non-antibiotic therapies. Yet pharmaceutical companies have a vested interest in pushing new treatments into the market, regardless of the broader impact on public health. The fact that Blujepa's development was partially funded by U.S. government grants only adds to the concern that taxpayer money is being funneled into corporate profits rather than into comprehensive solutions for antibiotic resistance. Despite GSK's claims of superiority, Blujepa's clinical trial results are hardly groundbreaking. The drug achieved complete disease resolution in 58.5% of patients compared to 43.6% for nitrofurantoin, a standard treatment that has been in use since the 1950s. While the difference is statistically significant, it is far from the dramatic improvement one would expect from a so-called next-generation antibiotic. Given the risks of overuse and the potential for resistance, a marginally better cure rate does not justify the widespread adoption of a new drug unless it is absolutely necessary. Instead, what this approval signals is an ongoing cycle of replacing old antibiotics with new ones, ignoring the root cause of bacterial resistance while creating the illusion of progress. The problem extends beyond just Blujepa. The approval of this drug is part of a broader trend in which pharmaceutical companies prioritize short-term market gains over long-term public health outcomes. While new antibiotics will continue to be developed and approved, they are being deployed in a system that encourages overuse, hastening the very resistance they are meant to combat. Without stringent regulations on antibiotic prescribing practices, more aggressive efforts to promote alternative treatments, and global cooperation to limit unnecessary antibiotic consumption, the world will soon face a scenario in which even the most advanced drugs become obsolete. The stakes could not be higher. The World Health Organization has repeatedly warned that we are on the brink of a post-antibiotic era in which minor infections could once again become fatal. The approval of new antibiotics without a comprehensive plan to manage their use is like pouring water into a bucket with a hole in it, an ultimately futile effort that delays the inevitable but does nothing to fix the underlying problem. If pharmaceutical companies and regulatory agencies continue to prioritize immediate solutions over sustainable ones, the future of medicine will be defined not by breakthroughs, but by failures.